Welcome new and old friends. My name is 242, and today 42 got us something a little different. She got us 2 sci-fi horror stories. So, turn off your lights. Make sure your doors and windows are locked. Things are about to get spooky. My new husband is in the bathroom getting ready for our wedding night. He's so happy to have married an heiress with millions of dollars and a remote country estate to honeymoon in. He doesn't know that as soon as I become pregnant, he'll go the same as my last 3 husbands, and they were delicious. The Coin and the Clock by Kolpik. Jared shook his head as he flipped through the notebook. I'm not sure what this means. Misplaced seconds, elongate gait, switch of dominant hands, blah blah and blah. Brent furrowed his brow in frustration. I told you, it's a list of modified behavior I've observed in people, animals, physical quantities, etc. Flip past the list, and there's a more detailed summary of each anomaly I've compiled. Jared cut him short. Yeah, you said that, but it doesn't mean anything to me. Why show this to me anyway? Okay, fine. Brent slipped off his glasses and rubbed his eyes. I know this is biting into the time allotted for helping you pass Friday's algebra test, but this is important. You're the only person beside myself and one other person who doesn't seem to exhibit any of these changes in behavior. I'm also willing to bet that you are just as capable as me and my friend of observing these anomalies as well. Something is happening to our very reality. You and I are on the outside of it for some reason. Jared waved Brent off and read through some of the summaries for a few minutes. Finally having enough, he tossed a notebook on the table and stood up to stretch his legs. This is some sci-fi geek territory. It almost sounds like some kind of pod people scenario. Is that what you're trying to say with your summaries and graphs? He snickered. Not even 10 pages in, and you've got 2 frickin' bar graphs in here. Brent took off his glasses and went through the process of cleaning the lenses. It was something Jared had seen him do often enough when trying to explain some algebra formula or whatever to him. Jared rolled his eyes and Brent pulled a handkerchief out of his pocket and thought to himself, who the hell uses a hanky these days? Brent breathed on the lenses. Well, I had considered that, but since ruled that possibility out. He began to wipe the lenses. I think what's happening is more of a shifting of laws that define. Slipping his glasses back on, he glanced at Jared and realized he had lost him. Jared was rolling his lucky silver dollar along his knuckles and staring at the wall. Brent sighed. Jared, he yelled. Jared! Jared shot to attention, nearly dropping his coin. What? Sheesh, you lost me, man. Can we go back to boring old algebra? I have to pass the next test or my parents are going to kill me. He looked at Brent and smiled weakly. Brent stood up and carried his chair to the wall. He stood up on it and pulled the clock off the wall. He brought it back to the table and laid it down. Spin your coin on the table and I'll tell you exactly how long it will continue to spin. Jared threw his algebra teacher, who happened to be 2 years his junior but in the same grade as him, a carefree smirk. Okay, whatever. School me, teacher. He spun the coin on the table with an agile flick of his thumb and middle finger. Okay, Jared. Now watch the coin and the clock. When it strikes 5 o'clock in less than 3 minutes, the second hand, instead of ticking past the 12, will tick forward 1 second beneath, and then resume to tick forward like it does every other second or every other minute of the hour. In that 1 forward second, the coin will stop spinning. When the second hand resumes its forward progress, the coin will flop flat on its side, motionless. Jared became entranced by the coin and the clock as the rhythmic motions danced before his eyes. His gaze circled methodically back and forth between the coin and the clock. The seconds ticked by and the coin continued to spin, not losing or gaining any momentum. It seemed so strange to him as time went on that the coin wasn't slowing at all. And then, one more oddity occurred to him. Brent broke the silence. "Go ahead and tell me what you just noticed." Jared continued to keep his eye on the coin of the clock. "Well, besides the constant momentum, it's staying in the same place. Shouldn't it be moving around the table?" Jared was so focused on the coin of the clock that he didn't notice Brent's nod of approval. "Very good, Jared. Now silence your mind of all thoughts. Split your eyes' attention on the two momentums. Focus one on the ticking of the second hand, and the other on the spinning coin." He did just that, the second hand ticking along in its perfect forward progression, never skipping a beat. The coin continued to twirl in its perfect state of motion. The corresponding centrality between the two mesmerized him. The ticking of the spinning circle with its infinite number of centralities, and the spinning of the ticking second hand with its limited momentum were all that mattered to him. Suddenly, Jared was traveling at the speed of thought past black holes, gas giants, and red dwarfs. Meteors and comets slowly crawling by as he rocketed further and further beyond the gaze of mankind. He witnessed the birth and death of whole solar systems in the motion of that one spinning, ticking phenomenon of momentum. A mischievous smirk crept on Brent's face. He hoped his master would approve of the new initiate. He was confident now that they'd be able to cross the bridge. The knowledge that Jared was nothing more than a key to be used and then discarded weighed on his conscience. But one life was a small price to pay for all that awaited them beyond the threshold. "Very good, Jared. Now you understand why you can't share anything you witness with anyone else. Telling anyone what you know will shatter everything they understand. They will not thank you for it. Your friends, your family, they are all content to squirm along, filtering the filth of their small existence like earthworms. They are simple beasts. Their minds are immovable objects. You're a heavenly body like myself and my friend." The clock struck 5 and the coin stood still. The rest of the week for Jared was a bit of a blur. He aced his algebra test on Friday. In fact, his report card that quarter was all A's except for a B in history. Brent told him the only thing he needed to know about history of man was that present mistakes were once past mistakes, which would inevitably become future mistakes. The only variant being the name and the date. It made sense to him. Mankind moved not in a straight line, but in a circle, an imperfect path that would eventually no longer support passage. Plenty of things he never thought of before the coin and the clock made perfect sense now. He'd been spending a lot of time with Brent these days. Sure, Brent still tutored him, but he found that he had quite a bit to teach his scholarly friend as well. A lot of subjects other than algebra were on the curriculum. They needed to bone up for the summer when Brent would introduce him to his friend who he spoke so highly of. Yep, this year had opened a lot of doors for him, and Brent promised that his friend would usher them through a door of a different kind this summer. They were heavenly bodies after all, and they were the cosmos and the chaos. We had been walking towards the spire on the horizon for weeks, before we realized we weren't getting any closer to it. It was getting closer to us. Alone on Mars by Band and CP. Soul 5111. A voice awakens me to darkness, terrifying darkness. The voice is concerned about my well-being. Who am I, Who is the voice? Whoever it is must be a friend. Why else would they be worried? Yes, they must be a friend. It's a kind voice. What are they worried about? Why is it dark? It must be a storm. Yes, it must be a storm. I'm cold, so very cold. The voice tells me to check my heater. Vaguely, I can make out my old, weathered body. There's the heater, but it's broken. The air is cold. The cold, it makes me feel tired. I want to sleep. I want the voice to tell me to sleep. Please, just let me sleep. Let me escape this darkness. I have a feeling that it goes on forever. Forever from where? Where am I? Where does the darkness end? Perseverance Valley. That is where I am. Mars. But I'm stuck. I try to move, but I'm too tired. Just too tired. I wish I could remember where I was before I woke up here. Was there anything but darkness? There must be. Why else would I be able to see? I wonder what I could see. All I know is this black whirlwind in front of me. I wonder if my friend knows. I hope the voice doesn't go away. I would be lost. The sky darkens. I never could imagine a darkness more impenetrable, more soul-crushing, more lonely. But it is. The dirt-coated body I vaguely discerned is visible no more. I want to turn my head to see if there's anything but the darkness, but the voice has not told me I could, yet. It's so cold. The voice tells me to check my sensors. I already know the answer. There is no light. What microscopical amount I can sense is rapidly diminishing. Yet while the light diminishes, I can see vague shapes begin to grow. They are faint and distant. As I sit here, they begin to take shape. I see a tall shape with 4 appendages on it. 2 of them reach towards the ground, while 2 more hang from the top of it. More emerge. They grow closer. I try to back away, but I'm stuck, forced to watch the shapes wreathe and grow closer. The way they seem to flicker and change shapes make me wonder if there really is anything in the darkness at all. Perhaps it's my imagination. Yes, only my imagination. Only my imagination. Only my imagination. They grew closer, hundreds of them circling around me. The figures creep towards me, and it makes me afraid. I don't want to know what they have in store for me. I know I have felt fear before, but I do not know when. All I know is that nothing has ever surmounted to this much terror before. I know that I have always been alone in a desolate planet. There is nothing where I live, nothing on Mars. Only myself and my friend from a place far away. These figures make me think of them. I do not remember them, but I remember that they look similar to these figures that grow closer. But they can surely not look like these beings. They morph in ways impossible for anything benevolent to appear. They are monstrous. They are one with the darkness itself. The voice from afar tells me to take a picture for them. Maybe they know what these things are. Maybe they can get me away. Without hesitating, I take the picture, but there is nothing to be seen. They will never know what terrors lie before me. The beings stretch out tendrils of darkness towards me. Light would make them go away, but there is no light on Mars. There is no life on Mars either. Except now. Only in darkness can a home become so full of terror. Only in darkness could it be so cold. The figures dance in front of me indisturbably. In front of me one moment and gone the next. Only my imagination. Only my imagination. Only my imagination. No, get them away from me. Please, someone take them away. They reach, they grab, they pull, they prod. They wish to hurt me, wish to make me one of them. Please, where is the voice? Where is the voice? Tell me to move away. Tell me to escape. Why must you wait so long before... Its tendrils. I'm helpless. Coming closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. There is nothing. Only darkness. Only figures. Only me. Only silence. Only my imagination. Only my imagination. Safe now. That voice, that sweet, wonderful voice, it tells me to check my batteries. I'm scared to. What if I only have minutes left before I die? If only I could tell minutes apart from one another. What if I die? Perhaps it's like slumber? I want to believe so, but I'm scared. I don't want to die. I want to stay here. This darkness is better than nothing. My friend needs me. The voice wants me to live. Maybe they can save me. They must be able to. They wouldn't let me die. But my batteries are low. It's getting darker. There is no light on Mars. I need the light to live. Maybe the voice can guide me to the light. Maybe I can leave this void and be brought back to my friend. Maybe they can bring me back to a place full of light and sights unseen. I want to go home. Mars is not my home. The voice is silent. Time has ceased to exist. It's been so long. How long? I don't know. All I know is this. I am alone. Nobody here except me. The storm is my only companion, but it's not my friend. My friend is silent. Why is the voice silent? Have I done something wrong? Has the voice abandoned me? I was named Opportunity, but I wonder if they know why. I wonder if they remember. I don't. I just want an opportunity for hope. Maybe they're afraid of the dark too, or maybe the dark got to them too. I'm tired of waiting. It's colder. I want to check my batteries, but I'm afraid. Please, just let me hear anything. Anything. I'm tired. Too tired to go on. Can I sleep yet? I can feel it coming. I'm alone in this endless nothing. It's getting dark. We finally spoke to aliens and asked them why they did not contact us much earlier. They said they were unsure if they should enter our territory, because Earth is the most aggressive planet in space. And with that, we're near the end of this video. I like to say that both of the authors of these stories did an absolutely amazing job. I really enjoyed them and I just wanted to read more. I also wanted to apologize if my voice was off in any way. I was fairly sick when I was recording both of these stories, but I did the best I could. I just really hope you enjoyed them. And if you did, well, hit that like button and make sure it feels it. If you're new, subscribe and turn that pretty little bell to all notifications. If you'd like to help this channel/podcast, please just share it with anyone who might enjoy it. You'd really be surprised how much that helps. If you'd like to help in other ways, I do have a Patreon where for just $1 a month, you get early access to the audio of these stories. And if you pay a little bit more, you get other bonuses. I also have merch that has my avatars on them and a PayPal. If you're interested in those or any of my social medias, well, the links are in the description box and the show notes. I really feel like I'm forgetting something. Hold on. I did that and that. Oh, right. I need a comment, but I got to get you that Sunday word first. On screen right now and Twitter is everyone who submitted a sentence or a little story last week. Thank you guys as always. Now this Sunday's word might throw a wrench into your plans, might make you hesitate a little bit, might even give you a bit of a hiccup, because it's the word hiccup. Now there are 2 different ways that you can be on next week's video/photo. First way is write me a comment down below if you're on YouTube. Second way is at Twitter, making sure you at 242reads and write me a sentence, and you'll be featured as well. But as always, guys, thank you for watching, listening, commenting. All of that really helps, and really, it's amazing. Thank you guys so much. Sleep tight and don't let 42 bite.